Coming up, we talk volleyball with all 6 high school varsity coaches. Next on Conversations. Hi, and welcome to this volleyball edition of Conversations. I'm Jeannie Curtis. AISD-TV sports announcer John Nelson had a chance to sit down and talk with our head varsity volleyball coaches about their upcoming season and to welcome 2 brand new head coaches from Bowie and Lamar. Here's John Nelson.
Well, thanks, Jeannie. Volleyball is always the first sport to begin the school year. We begin with the Arlington Colts. Kim Spencer guides the Lady Colt volleyball program in year number 2. The defending district champions, Coach Spencer named the district coach of the year last season. Kim, in looking back, I want to talk about 2 girls that really meant something to the program last year, Jacqueline Werner and Emily Harvey.
Yes, sir. We 2 great seniors, great players, great leaders. We're going to miss their leadership this year, but I'm excited for the youth and the older kids to come back and continue the tradition, hopefully win another district championship. So,
what would it take to win another district title this year?
I think it's going to be another fun district. A lot of kids returning. We were very young last year across the board. But I think for us, it's going to be continuing our defense, continue the passing game, because if you can't pass, you can't play. So I think our offense is still going to be there, but our passing and our defense really will be the key.
I know 2 girls you're really counting heavily on, Laura Nix and Emma Smith.
Yes, 4-year varsity returners. So they've played, they bring the most experience to the court, leadership. They're fun to watch. They get excited when they play. Makes me excited to watch them. We had great turnouts with all of our games last year, and again, just 2 kids that are really going to be fun to watch that'll lead our team this year.
I don't know if you're still talking about it, but I think about it from time to time, Kim. The 36-34 game 1 at Martin. It was a game that would never end. It eventually did, but have you ever seen a game go 36-34, a total of 70 points?
Actually, we played A&M Consolidated in a tournament last year. All 3 games in the match went past 30 points. We lost in a 40-38 game. So we played a lot of fun matches last year. Martin, of course, is our biggest rival, and it's always going to be a good match anytime you come to that game.
But for a district match, I mean, nobody sat down. I mean, they stood up from the outset.
They did. It was awesome, and an awesome environment, 2 great teams, lots of fun, players to watch, very dynamic players. Again, like I said, anytime you play Martin, it's going to be a terrific match, a fun match to watch.
What is your tournament schedule this year?
We are in the same tournaments. We're going back to try to defend our title at Mansfield, first opening weekend. And then we travel to New Braunfels, where we get to see a lot of different competition, which I'm excited for. And then we come back for our home tournament. We have a very good field this year, competitive, a lot of even teams. So again, more great matches for us.
Can you tell before the season starts, conditioning-wise, the shape that your girls are in?
A lot of our girls play club. Club is, huge. And so as far as volleyball, they've stayed in shape. I know that we have House of Pain in the morning across the district. All the schools have House of Pain. But I know the girls have been there. They're working out. Like I said, I'm very excited about this year because we bring 2 kids back that have been in the program. They know that tradition. We have several other, and Lauren Beard, Barbie DeClerc, kids that have come back, been in our program, and they know what it takes. They're getting our team in shape.
Coach, do you have a team slogan or a team motto this year?
We do. Every year we pick a theme. Our theme this year is lifeguarding or guard our house. So that's kind of our, you'll see posters up around the city of Arlington, but guard our house, guarding the tradition is going to be our theme this year.
Okay, young girls coming up. Bailey Junior High wins the city championship.
Yes. We are going to be very heavy in middles this year, so I'm very excited with that. We do have a girl coming in from Gunn that I'm looking at, possibly being on varsity, and Katie Clark. She is a 6'1" freshman. But we do have a lot of winning tradition coming in from our 2 junior highs, so I'm very excited about that.
Kim, good luck to you and the Lady Colts this year.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see Arlington High on September 23rd and October 25th. Diane Wilson, in her first year guiding the Lady Vols of Arlington Bowie. Coach Wilson comes from Grapevine, and Coach, it's not as if you were unfamiliar with some of the Arlington teams. You played a lot of those teams in the past. What do you expect this year?
I expect the district to remain competitive as it always has, and I want to really give Bowie that shot of being an AISD volleyball team that they talk about as much as they talk about the Martins and Lamars and Arlingtons.
What is your main emphasis? What going in as a first-year coach do you think is really paramount and key to emphasize, especially that first week?
The first week, we're going to have to learn to trust one another. I'm going to do some things maybe a little bit unorthodox, try different defense, sell them on some offensive ideas, but if they don't trust me, it could really unravel at district, which is the most important time of the year. So I'm going to really, through drills and through getting to know each other, build the trust so that they know when I put you in this situation, it's for your best. I'm trying to make you as successful as possible.
What about conditioning? Are you really a stickler for off-season workouts and club ball, or given the hand that you're dealt this year, I mean, in some instances you have no choice? I
have found that this group of young ladies, the juniors and seniors that I've met, are fantastically fit, very athletic, and so the nice thing is because we're already in shape, we can focus in on what we do with the volleyball as opposed to necessarily having to go and work on jumping higher and running faster.
What about a tournament schedule? I know Forney is one of the tournaments, but what do you expect out of that this year?
I personally am new to the Forney tournament. I know it was one that the coaches in the past and the team have really enjoyed playing in. I believe we're also in the South Hills tournament, and I saw a trophy on the trophy case for it, so I'm hoping that we can go back and just be as successful as they were last year.
All right. District is going to be tough. As we said, you're not unfamiliar with some of the Arlington teams. As a first-year coach, what would it take to be competitive and maybe get a playoff spot?
It's a long season. When you talk about playing 14 games, 7 weeks of consistent play can be challenging. I think they're, must-wins and wanna-wins, and I think we have to focus our energy on the must-wins.
Any changes in the assistant coaching, or who do you have on your staff?
There have been some changes. Coach Kitchens is returning. She coaches softball at Bowie as well. She's done an outstanding job. I'm not exactly sure where she's going to be with the program as far as varsity assistant, maybe coaching a team herself. We have added another coach, Coach Magruder, and still working to fulfill her role, but both of them have been so wonderful working with the girls. The girls run into the gym, love to see them when we're up there at open gym, and that's what I could hope for, is to have assistant coaches that the players want to be around.
Diane, given the personnel and the size and the speed, what ideal offense would you like to run?
I think early on we're going to go with a higher, slower offense just to allow us to gain consistency, reduce the number of errors. The faster your offense, the increase in errors. And so as we get more familiar with each other, setters with hitters and them with my system, I think we'll be able to speed up the offense. Hopefully by that second round of district, our offense will be a different tempo than it was, in August.
Transition is always tough, but what do you really have to overcome here with the season right around the corner?
Volleyball happens so fast with trying out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're on the court Friday, Saturday. It's that building of the relationship, them understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing, and then not misreading what their talent or role will be with the team.
Well, Coach, good luck and congratulations, and look forward to seeing Bowie this year.
Great, thank you very much.
And we'll see Bowie this year, October 14th and again on the 21st. Well, Heather Woodman is trading the Arlington green and white for the Lamar navy blue and gold as she heads the Lady Vike volleyball program. And Heather, what about the circumstances that allowed you to make the move?
When Kate Wood left, it opened up the head coaching position, and I spoke with Kim Spencer over and over and over about it, and I thought this was the right opportunity for me to become a head coach. I'd worked so many years as an assistant for great head coaches, and I thought it was my time.
I know your perception of Lamar Viking Lady Viking volleyball has always been on a high level. In fact, they have beaten Arlington High a couple of times within the last 4 years. Some of the girls I'm sure you had an eye on in the past.
Absolutely. You know, we're returning almost 4 starters. Taylor Murata is our junior libero. She's great. Our setter, Maddie Walsh, who's our captain. We've got Jenny Tackett, Des Hampton. We've got some great kids coming back, and I think the district's in a toss-up. I think anybody can win, so I'm excited. It's going to be competitive. What
has been the hardest thing so far in making the transition?
I think for me, comfort. Arlington High was a comfort thing. I played at Arlington High, and then I went back to coach there. Now being at Lamar, stepping out of my comfort zone, it's been good.
How long do you think, Heather, will it take for you to know what team you really have? I mean, I know what kind of offense you'd like to run, but given the personnel, what would be an obstacle that could be overcome early?
I think through the first couple of tournaments, we're going to have to really figure it out. With us returning 10 seniors, there's a lot of leadership, there's a lot of personalities, and I think through those first couple of tournaments, we're going to have to really start to gel before we start our preseason in our district.
What about some of the tournaments that the Lady Vikes will take part in?
We are going to the Northwest tournament between Northwest and Byron Nelson, and then Mansfield's Rotary tournament, and then the Arlington Invitational.
Okay, what's it going to take for Lamar to be a playoff team? I mean, winning district and being competitive in the district is tough enough, but what would it take?
I think team chemistry for us is going to be important. Like I said, with 10 seniors, we're going to have to add in some juniors and maybe a sophomore or two. It's going to be important that they gel and get along and become a team.
Coach, what's your team slogan this year?
Unfinished business is what the seniors decided to go with. I think last year were disappointed with how we finished, and we've got some unfinished business to take care of this season.
Numbers-wise, it's now 4-6A. I mean, what did you think about the classification and the move up for some teams to stay 6A, others to drop down?
I don't really think it made much of a difference. I know for us in our district it didn't, and across the board, it's just a number.
Finally, Coach, has the wardrobe changed? Have you bought enough navy blue and gold?
My husband joked around with me the other day. I threw out about 60 different green and white t-shirts. I actually didn't throw them away. I donated them to the next coach that took my spot at Arlington, and I've stocked up on our blue and gold, and it's been interesting. It's
going to be a little different though now when you play Arlington High.
Absolutely. We've already talked about when we go over to Arlington how weird it's going to be the visitor in that gym, and so it'll be nice though.
Well, Heather, good luck. I know it's going to be a good first year for you at Lamar.
Thank you very much.
We'll see the Lady Vikes twice this year, September 23rd and again on October 28th on AISD-TV. Tracy Perez enters her 10th year guiding the Lady Warriors of Arlington Martin. Martin last year went to the playoffs, lost in round 3 to Colleyville Heritage. And Coach, what was that playoff atmosphere like in Glen Rose?
Well, it was the first experience for us as they changed it from Abilene to Glen Rose, so it was exciting just to be at a new venue. Their facilities are amazing. The girls were excited. We had, the locker rooms were amazing. They had individual name plates, so it was really a special deal for the kids, so the atmosphere was really hyped up for them.
Colleyville Heritage, a team that could have won it all last year. South Lake Carroll was also strong, but Heritage really provided a lot of offense, didn't they?
Yeah, they were tough. They had 2 kids that just really were great leaders, and they just brought it.
Okay, looking back, you had the district MVP, Alexis Wright, and there was no back off in her at all. She really had no weakness. I know she's going to be tough to replace, but talk about some of the seniors that kind of need to step up this year.
Well, I have a senior that's already committed to play at Appalachian State, Eden Hilbert. She's in middle. I'm not really sure where I'm going to put anybody. It's up in the air, but I think she'll be a big factor. She's huge. She's 6'2", just a beast at the net, and I think that she's going to be something that it's a big deal for her to step up and be a leader this year. My setter, Claire Schwetman, she ran she ran it last year by herself, and I see that happening again. She'll have to step up in a leadership role, and then from then on, you know, everybody else is just going to have to follow their lead.
Conditioning-wise, has anything changed over the summer, or are the girls where they need to be right now?
I think so. I think they're just eager to get started, especially my seniors. They're ready. They're ready to get started and have a great year.
What is your pre-tournament schedule like?
We play at the Mansfield tournament, and we play in the Invitational in Arlington, and then we go to New Braunfels and play in their tournament.
All right, you play Arlington High this year. You're going to host Arlington on a Saturday night. What were the circumstances that allowed that to happen or necessitated that change?
It just came down to homecoming, and then, you know, homecoming is big for everybody. Our football team plays at 5:30 at Cowboy Stadium. I think it's another name, but anyway, so it just kind of, there wasn't really a good place for us to move time-wise. So Coach Spencer and I talked, and we both agreed to move it on Saturday. It would just be best for both situations. So it was great that she was on board with that.
I can imagine what it was like for the girls, but as a coach, Tracy, that game with Arlington last year that ended 36-34 in the first game, that I mean, that had everything.
That was an amazing game. Both teams were just fighting hard to win, and that atmosphere was great. So that's what we're trying to create, you know, for that Saturday game. I hope we can get the fans and make it as big as a Tuesday or Friday night game.
Oh, I think he will when word gets around that it is on a Saturday. Right. Coach, good luck to you and the Lady Warriors of Arlington Martin.
Thank you.
And we'll see Martin this year on September 16th and that game October 25th. Theresa Frederick guides the Lady Texan volleyball program in year number 32. And Coach, how has the summer gone, or where has the summer gone, and where is the emphasis this year on your team?
Well, you know, the minute we stop one season, we're right into the next. The kids had a great off season. I was most excited. I mean, we hit the ground running right after the season was over. We lost 7 seniors, and the exciting thing about the kids coming back is 2 crucial players got a lot of playing time last time, Aaliyah Trahan last year and Elizabeth Henningsen. They did a bang-up job, and they were sophomores last year. Our 2 seniors, we only have 2 seniors, but they are big time, you know, they're a big time part of our team. They're going to be our leaders. They're going to set the whole, you know, pace of what goes on the court, and that is Destiny Wilson and Brittany Cole, our setter. Destiny being an outside and Brittany being our setter. I mean, again, 2 other players that, you know, were a crux of our team last year. So those are 4 crucial players that we'll have back, but yet they're 2 seniors and juniors, and then we have a mix of younger kids that are going to fill in. LaShanta Smith, Elvin on Diba, Bathsheba, Hasilla. I mean, these are younger kids that'll be filling in you know, other positions. Our libero, you know, that position's kind of open. It's probably one of the ones not solidified yet, but we have 2 players that are really very, very good in that position. So we lost some kids last year, but we were with those 7 seniors, but the kids coming back this year got playing time. They had a tremendous off season. That's what I was really excited about. They really worked hard in off season, saw all familiar faces in open gym. They stayed in touch all summer. So we're ready to kick off on Monday. I'm very excited.
Teresa, do the younger girls know that winning some of these early matches can build some confidence?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is one of the things we've talked about, is that immediately transferring all that we did in off season into that quickly in the season, into building upon that, getting games behind our belt. And, you know, I'm really excited. We have 3 good tournaments to go to also add with our games, that we'll hit those tournaments right off the bat, and that's what we want to do in those tournaments.
I was going to ask you, what is your tournament?
Yeah, Mansfield. We go to the Mansfield Sunrise Tournament. Boy, what a great tournament that is. They do an awesome job of running that tournament. And that's one of those tournaments, yes, it might start off a little tough if it, you know, it's kind of pool play determines where you go after that. But last year we ended up being second in our pool, or third, I think, and going into a good bracket. That's what we're hoping for again this year. We go to South Hills. That's going to be a new tournament for us this year. And then we end up with Argyle. Boy, Argyle was another stout tournament. So we'll have a little breathing room in between, but yet on both ends of that tournament, we'll be able to really be able to tell in the very beginning where we're at, and then that end, making sure we progress to where we want to be before we really get into district.
Who is your setter, and who's going to be your main outside hitter?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the really surprise element that I like about us, is that we've got a lot of outsides. And Destiny Wilson, Aaliyah Trahan, Elizabeth Henningson, LaShonta Smith, all those players will be playing a mix of, especially with Aaliyah and Elizabeth, middle and outside. And that is one of the things we have to look at in the beginning when we get against competition, as to what is going to be our strongest attack without giving up in the middle also. So that's a little balancing act we're going to really look at very, very stringently at the beginning of the season, as to what is our most overall consistent strength of a lineup. Maybe shuffling some of those players around. Now, Destiny Wilson, she'll be an outside, but Aaliyah and Elizabeth, they're two players that play middle and can go outside and really give you some big swings also. So we're really looking to solidify some with some of the younger players. If we do move one of those two, Aaliyah or Elizabeth, outside, if some of these younger players might fit that bill, but you know, you have to protect the middle as well as make sure you're getting your big swings on the outside.
Yeah, that is paramount.
And our setter is Brittany Cole, and for right now, she's probably going to be our starting setter. And she has, you know, all last year played an integral part, and I think she's going to do a bang-up job this year running our offense.
Teresa, good luck to you and the Lady Texans this year, as another volleyball season is right around the corner.
Well, thank you, John. Always a pleasure.
We'll see the Lady Texans this year twice, September 16th and October the 28th. Head coach Katra Ridgeway guides the Lady Cougars of Seguin. She is in her second year. And Coach, a year ago at this time, you had just gotten a job. How have things gone easier for you as you slip into year number 2?
I have to admit that this year is a lot better than last year. I was so nervous to be here. I didn't know a lot, but I've gotten a lot of help from Arlington High. They kind of took me under their wings, so they've introduced me to a lot of systems and defenses. So I feel much better going into this year than I was last year.
Was most of it paperwork and off-school distractions or things you had to overcome being a first-year coach?
I don't think the paperwork was really it, because it's being a head track coach, I knew that part. It was the skill part, the volleyball knowledge part, that I didn't quite understand as well as I do now with film sessions and communicating with other head coaches. So I kind of got it down a little bit better this year.
What did you learn about your team last year?
That they are resilient kids. We were battling with Grace Prep. We took them 5 sets. That has never happened before. We won a lot of 5 matches. We just couldn't get over the hump. I think conditioning played a part, so that's why I've changed it up this year. We'll be ready to go 5 sets if we need to. Hopefully we won't. We'll win it in 3, but if we have to go 5 this year, I feel better that the girls can compete at a higher level for a longer time.
Who are some of the girls you're really counting on this year?
My libero, Jessica Ochoa, she has to lead the defense for us. She's a junior. She's played varsity the last 3 years. Then I have outside Allery Mays. She's a senior outside hitter. Aubrey Ridgeway is another outside. And the one that I'm really expecting a lot from is Taylor Piper, my middle. And according to all standards, she's a short middle, but she's an aggressive middle that can make a lot of reads. So hopefully she'll be able to contribute this year.
There is no substitute for aggression. What about your tournament schedule, Coach? What will the Lady Cougars be taking part in?
Well, we're going to keep the same tournaments we had last year. We're going to start off with Mansfield. That is such a good tournament. I received the schedule yesterday. I think I'm with Keller and El Paso. It's always tough. We finished last in the bracket last year. So hopefully this year our goal is to finish in the top 2 because our kids have really worked on their volleyball skills. So we start at Mansfield and then we go to Graham. We were in a Constellation. We won Constellation last year. So we're expecting to do better there. And of course we finish up with the Arlington tournament that is extremely competitive. So maybe with the other tournaments that'll help me do better in the Arlington tournament because they have a lot of good teams there.
Okay, the district is now 14-5A. You lose Ennis, but Mansfield Timberview comes in. That's going to be as competitive as always, despite who is in.
Mm-hmm. And actually, we have Ennis back. So we got Timberview and Ennis. They appealed to UIL and they added them back in volleyball and basketball. Football, they didn't get a chance. Every night is going to be competitive in our district. Of course, Waxahachie, but the Mansfield schools are really, really good. They have a lot more numbers dropping down from 6A to 5A. Timberview and Legacy is really strong. They have a lot of numbers, but of course I got some help from that coach, so I plan to do better this year. I want to be competitive with the Mansfield schools in volleyball in our district, so we just have to play well every night.
Yeah, you do, and it's almost here, Coach. Good luck to you and Seguin.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll see the Lady Cougs twice this year, September 9th and again on September 30th. Well, that's a look at the AISD volleyball picture. Jeannie, back to you.
Thanks, John, and thanks to our coaches. That does it for this show. I'm Jeannie Curtis, and I hope you get a chance to catch some of these ladies in action. Take care, and we'll see you next time here on Conversations.